Hey folks, this is Rhykker with a gaming news wrap-up video where we discuss the happenings of the week. This week's topics include Overwatch revealing a new hero origin trailer after over 2 years since their last one, The Witcher 3's next-gen update being delayed indefinitely, and Diablo 2's surprise changes in the latest patch that hit this week. As always, discussion timestamps can be found in the description below, but right before you skip ahead, just a quick reminder to ring that sub notification bell to be alerted to new Saturday episodes and stay up to date with gaming news highlights. Now before I move on, just a quick word from this video's sponsor, Athletic Greens. Athletic Greens is a nutrition company with a daily supplement, AG1, which is designed to give you energy and help with focus, gut, digestion, and immune system health. Now, I've been taking different supplements on and off throughout my life, from Flintstone vitamins as a kid to lots of vitamin D during the winter months up here in Canada. And I've now been taking AG1 exclusively for over a month because I wanted to try the product before accepting a sponsorship. So I stopped taking my other supplements and I've just been on AG1, and the difference that I really noticed was when I skipped a weekend just because I forgot, and I just had no energy. And I was wondering, why am I so tired? Now, before I started to take my health more seriously, for a while, I was just feeling tired all the time. Like, I had no energy. And I just felt constantly overwhelmed. And the difference that having energy makes, making you feel like you can take on the world, like you can have the energy to exercise, and actually follow through on your New Year's resolutions, it's just great. AG1 contains 75 different ingredients, vitamins, minerals, superfoods, probiotics, adaptogens, all delivered in just one daily serving, just one scoop. Ooh, I'm almost done. Mixed with 8 ounces of water. Pop that in. Give it a little shake up and you're good to go. The taste even reminds me of those Flintstone vitamins I took as a kid. So go to athleticgreens.com/Rhykker to get started on your order. And Athletic Greens is going to give our community a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packets with your first purchase. We'll kick things off this week with a viewer comment of the week. On last Saturday's news video, Max Cabrera wrote about Diablo 3 Season 26, quote, "The latest D3 seasons have been a blast for casual players like me, because we can get really strong without having to play 40 hours a week. Last season was the first time I could augment a full set of gear and actually farm 120 plus rifts. This season promised the chance to farm massive Paragon without a dedicated group or just mindless grind, and they nerfed it to the ground. They effectively ruined the season for people like me. No reason to play beyond completing the season journey, because the progress I may make playing maybe 5 to 7 hours a week will be insignificant this time. No overpowered ethereal weapons, no overpowered legendary gems, no easy augments. If they tune the Echoing Nightmares to an equivalent of a Greater Rift, I won't farm past 110 without grinding for power. This season theme is probably great for serious players because they can no-life farm Paragon more effectively, but for the rest of us, there is basically no theme. Just a new game mode, kill stuff on the screen until the bar fills, and that is not particularly interesting. Now, as of this recording, the full impact of the changes that the devs made to Echoing Nightmares since the test server aren't fully clear, though by the time you're watching this video, they may be. Now, hopefully, if Max's concerns here pan out to be true, I mean, hopefully they don't, but if they do, hopefully, if Echoing Nightmares aren't rewarding enough to provide a significant boost to the average player, then I'm hoping the devs are open to a quick emergency patch within the first max 2 weeks. 1 week would be great of the season. And now diving into the news, starting with a bunch of rapid fire news. A new class is coming to Lost Ark next Thursday, the 21st of April. The Glaivier, aka the Lancemaster. We have a video covering an overview of this class over here. For World of Warcraft, Blizzard revealed the exact time at which they will announce the next World of Warcraft expansion. It's going to happen on Tuesday, April 19th at noon Eastern. And barring some huge upset, this is expected to be the leaked Dragonflight expansion, which we spoke about in this video here. Then in Elden Ring news, a new speedrun record has been achieved. The game has been completed in just 8 minutes 56 seconds. Man, I suck. In other news, Vicarious Visions has completed the merger that was announced last year. The previously Activision Blizzard sub-studio that made Diablo 2 Resurrected, has now officially merged with Blizzard Entertainment. However, that dev team and its office will remain in Albany, New York, but it is now going to be fully dedicated to Blizzard games. A great addition to Blizzard. In other news, as part of the 20th anniversary celebration of the Kingdom's Heart franchise, Square Enix and Disney announced that Kingdom Hearts 4 is in early development. In No Man's Sky news, a new update released called Outlaws. This update introduces outlaw systems, the ability to recruit your own squadron of pilots, improved space combat, a solar sail starship, and much more, like cape physics. Mesmerizing. In Overwatch news, after over 2 years since the last hero origin story video, Blizzard released the origin story of Sojourn, a Canadian soldier that teamed up with Soldier 76 back in the day. This week also saw Blizzard's Taiwan team accidentally leak Sojourn's gameplay trailer, which they subsequently properly released, and they also released details on her kit. Sojourn has a railgun with 2 firing modes, a power slide for mobility, a disruptor shot to apply soft crowd control to enemies, and her ultimate makes her overclock her railgun. In Path of Exile news, the upcoming 3.18 expansion will launch on May 13th, and will be revealed about a week before that. The current Arch Nemesis League will end about 5 days before the PC expansion release. To set expectations, the devs said that the scope of the expansion is a little smaller than Siege of the Atlas, but we can still expect a new challenge league, more endgame improvements, and more. The devs are also working on a number of engine improvements, bug fixes, and more improvements on controller support. All of this should arrive in a patch that'll launch before the end of the Arch Nemesis League. In Witcher 3 news, it's bad news for the next-gen version of the game. The devs announced that they are moving development of the remaining work on this project fully in-house. As a consequence, the release date that they had previously established, which was Q2 of this year, is being postponed until further notice as they evaluate how much work is left to be done on this. And this basically confirms rumors that have been circulating for weeks now. See, previously the project was being developed by the Russian division of Saber Interactive, which previously handled the Switch port for The Witcher 3 and did so very well. The next-gen enhanced version of The Witcher 3 was first announced in September 2020 and would come as a free update to those who already owned the game on PS4, Xbox One, or PC. But after developer CD Projekt Red announced in early March that it would no longer be selling games in Russia until further notice, rumors began to circulate that the company also did not want to work with the Russian office of Saber. On to Diablo news, starting quickly with Diablo 3. The new season started last night. If you're still deciding on a class to play, check out our tier list video here that went up earlier this week. And in a quick preliminary update regarding the Echoing Nightmares in Season 26. It's looking right now like the drop rate of these went from 100%, as in you kill a Greater Rift Guardian, you are guaranteed to get a Echoing Nightmare, from 100% down to about a rate of 5% is what people are reporting. This means on average for every 20 Greater Rifts you do, you can do 1 Echoing Nightmare. We have people reporting they've done 30 or more Greater Rifts and not received any. Reports of people reaching Paragon 800, 900 in the season and having done 10 so far. Again, lowering the drop rate from 100%, not a bad idea, keeping these a little bit more rare, a little bit more special, but 5% is very low to the point that you almost don't feel the season theme. And this is also actually encouraging people to hoard these, not use them right away because they're so rare. So holding off experiencing the season theme to a point where you're strong enough to fully benefit from the run. I think if these were to be made a permanent addition to the game, then a 5% spawn chance, not bad at all. But at this rate, it's feeling like casual players will rarely even get to do one of these. When Path of Exile introduces a new mechanic in its leagues, it, at launch, makes those mechanics pretty frequent. You encounter them quite often in the early game areas while leveling up, and then when they add that to the base game, they then reduce the spawn chance significantly. As for how difficult or rewarding these are, we're still trying to figure that out, but stay tuned for more information in that regard. And in Diablo 2 news, we got the release of patch 2.4.2 this week, which actually includes some differences since the latest PTR patch. Highlights include quality of life improvements to Whirlwind to make it feel less clunky, a significant buff to leap barbs, the Assassin's Blade Fury skill got an attack rating buff, the Necromancer's Fire Golem got a small buff, and most significantly, the Paladin Holy Auras have been reverted to their original early PTR state before they got nerfed. This is big and exciting. And another huge change is actually this bug fix. Fixed an issue where unique monster packs with mana drain were draining way more mana than was intended. And in other Diablo 2 news, a new speedrun record was achieved this week. Hell Difficulty Bale was killed in under 2 hours. 1 hour 58 minutes is the new record set by a group led by speedrunner Gymnasium, and including Lav, Mr. Hollywood, Lucky Luciano, Sudden Dan, Mr. Llama, BT Neanderthal, and Tio. The group had been experimenting with a new strategy for weeks, which they knew would be even faster after patch 2.4 launched. And on their very first attempt on patch 2.4, they already broke the record. And the main thing that made this strategy faster were the buffs to the Sorceress's Nova skill and the Paladin's Holy Fire Aura. Now, for a full breakdown of the patch notes, you can check out my video with Diablo 2 expert Macro Bio Boy over here. Also, stay tuned for a slew of Diablo 2 video guides on this channel leading up to the release of the new ladder season, which begins on April 28th, because that's going to wrap up this week's video. But do be sure to check out last week's video, in which we discussed the massive changes the D3 devs made to Echoing Nightmares after PTR. Thanks for watching. Special thanks to my Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube supporters for making these videos possible. If you like what you see on this channel and want to support the creation of more content, you can consider pledging on YouTube or Patreon and unlocking behind-the-scenes content, monthly virtual hangouts, and more. If you enjoyed this video, please share it. Check out these other videos and subscribe to join Rhykkers Raiders for more gaming content.